Hello guys, and welcome back to the extended Pentagon challenge, and welcome back to India and Royal Wangdo Football Club. So I thought I'd start off with the transfers, because obviously there was another transfer window, and we had a bit of an issue going in to the club, whereby we had a lot of players having to play out of position, simply because we just didn't have the cover in many respects. So the first guy we got in was Dharmaraj Ravanan. He's a good centre-back for this level, really. Not too bad, really. Certainly provides a good bit of cover. So he was a pretty important signing for us. All our transfers on the free. And really, we had quite a bit of a budget left. I think this club, because it came up, didn't really have many players or real players that basically were at the club. So I think the way this worked was that it basically created a lot of players that kind of came out of thin air, which in many respects we were a bit lucky because obviously we got a few 5-stars in there. The next guy in was Tyson Kayado, a goalkeeper. Again, it was an area of weakness. Couldn't really find any better than him. He came in, pretty decent wages. Again, only a 1.5 star, so nothing too special, but certainly, well worth bringing in. Then Nagan Tamang, really, again, you can see just a half-star player there. So, nothing at all special. But the thing about it is, I do need more players who can play in that kind of wing to wing, and maybe, if I need him as a striker. He's got reasonably good finishing composure and pace, so I see no reason why I can't do reasonably well. And on £120 a week, that's not too bad, really. Sukhwinder Singh, he's actually filled in quite well in that midfield role. Again, as you can see, he's quite versatile. Obviously, I think he's much better in that central role where he perhaps because his crossing is quite poor for someone who might be playing on the wing. Although our wingers don't really. They're not specifically crossing wingers. We're trying to work the ball into the box. But yeah, he's again only a half-star player. So again, you can see, I've been really looking at stats rather than the specific report, because it seems to me, in many cases, that it's more I'm looking for specific stats and maybe a bit of depth and versatility in many cases. Then we brought in Felix Chiri, which is our first actual overseas player, and he's a striker, and I think he just adds a bit of improvement on Mascarenas, really. I think that composure helps. He's actually done really well, 8 and 8 in the league. So he's kind of hit the ground running, really, for us. So he's a good acquisition. Robert Lalfamuel Moana, again, an absolutely ridiculous name, but he's a fullback. Can play all up that wing to a certain degree. And I think he's good depth, certainly has a decent rating. Well worth the buy. He came in from Mohan Bagan. What I've found is you're capable of signing players even if they've got a value at their current club, but generally in India it's mostly free transfers. It's just whether they're willing to let you talk to them, and in this case they were. The next player was Ndozi Ikichewu Ndozi. Plays in that attacking midfield role. Probably not, I would say, the kind of player who would play necessarily week in, week out, although he's done quite well so far, because we do have David Tamang, who is actually, a very decent player in his own right. In fact, a 5-star rated player, but great to have. Again, in my tactic, it's a very important role, that role, so good to have two real good players in that role. So, next up, I guess, I'll show you the league and how things kind of went. We'll just go through this. So in the end, we finished 3rd in the league, which is a really impressive showing for a club who's meant to finish 10th. Dempo ended up winning it, and in the end they won it by quite a bit, from us anyway. But really impressed, really happy with that. But that's not the full story. I'll go through the fixtures just now, but yeah, there's a bit of another surprise in there for us. So if we go to the fixtures now, and I'll just actually cover quickly the one thing that's kind of in fact, no, I'll leave that till later. So yeah, the fixtures. So we as you know, we won the Duran Cup, and basically when I left you off, we had just played, I believe it wasn't Salgoaka, was it? It was Mohammedan. We lost 3-2 to Mohammedan. It was quite a poor performance. And then we followed that up with a really bad loss at home to Mohan Bagan, Vasham, Jonas and Barman getting the goals. We did miss a penalty, which could have made a difference. We did kind of dominate, but in the end, at this stage, it was the creation of chances was a bit of an issue for us. So a really poor result, really goes against the grain. We were having quite a good home record really up until that point. It was a bit of a startling result. Churchill Brothers, away from home, always going to be a difficult game. Lal Kamal Bomik, he's one of the better players in the league, so he got both goals for Churchill Brothers. We did strike actually first in this game, although they did respond quickly, and this is actually a game where they had the better of it in my view. But yeah, Peter Clarko with 2 goals, very important goals to give us a draw, and actually a very respectable point out of that game. Next up, we had Mumbai FC, expected to win, and we did. 3-0 away. James Singh, Peter Clarko, and David Tamang. A game we pretty much dominated. Although they had a penalty, which could have made things interesting, which Anwar missed, which could have put it at 1-1 at the time. So pretty good to go to Mumbai and win so convincingly. Next up was United Sikkim, and again this was a pretty poor result. We had Kelachukwu and Kabara score for them. We really didn't create much. Again, a home loss, and not against the top side either in United Sikkim really. So disappointing. But these things tend to happen, and it was kind of at this point I was thinking, we really, now we were completely out of any title race or anything like that. So I was wondering where we might get the extra impetus for the season really. Later on, we played Dempo in start the Fed Cup actually, and this was such an important result. It may not at this point, you may not know why, but they were 2-0 up at our own ground, and we'd had a few poor results at home actually, and Henry Rai in the first half pulled one back, so we had a little bit of a chance, and Peter Clarko penalty equalised, and that was such an important result simply because Dempo and the group we had, which really didn't pose much threat to them, getting that 2-2 result meant that goal difference and could come into it potentially if we could win both games. We then followed up with a huge win against United Sports Club, 8-1, and this is the more impressive because the more impressive because Dempo had won their game 5-0, which really put the pressure on in terms of goal difference. Could we respond? And we certainly did. Nagin Gurung, Nilendra Singh, David Tamang, Jimmy Singh and Marcus Mascarenas with 3 goals. He'd been on a bit of a slump really, and that was good to see that he, massive improvement in performance from him. Great performance all round really, and a game we absolutely dominated, and in the end put United to an absolute beating. This made things a bit interesting because obviously Dempo always have the ability to beat a team by quite a big margin, so we need to make sure we beat city rivals Lejong, and I wasn't sure going into the game because it's a derby and these things can be quite difficult, but a brace from 3 players meant that a 6-0 win in the end, really quite, in the end very, very simple. Peter Clarko, Marcus Mascarenas and David Tamang all getting 2 goals. We went through and knocked Dempo out on goal difference, as they did beat United Sikkim, but it just wasn't going to be enough for them. The key game, obviously, the Dempo game for us, but also that 8-1 win against league opposition. So we went through, and a bit of a shock for us because I wasn't expecting. And then we played United Sikkim, and this was an absolute crazy game. Ended 4-4. We were 1-0 up. And then they equalised and took the lead. Orox Essien seems to have a bit of a penchant for scoring against us, but Nilendra Singh brought things back to equal, and in the end we couldn't quite get. Neither team could really break the other one down. Arga Chakraborty then scored in the second half, and in the first half rather, sorry, of extra time. And I was thinking, no, it was going to be unlikely that we were going to come back from this, simply because, extra time, there's not a lot of time. If you let in an early goal, sometimes the other team can just defend. But David Tamang, just before half time, in extra time, just bringing that back to 3-3. And then Marcus Mascarenas, just after half time, putting us 4-3 ahead. And I'm thinking, here's another final. But no, Fernandez, right at the death, forces it to a penalty shootout. And in the end, we kind of held our nerve and went through 4-3 to our second cup final of the year. Really quite an impressive achievement, and even more impressive because we played Salguarca in the final and ended up winning. They took an early lead in the first minute, in fact, which really kind of could have gone one of two ways. I think it could have gone that Salguarca just settled down and then start playing, putting us a bit on the back foot. But we responded magnificently. Laura and Frail again in the goal, and Robert Rye in the second half, 20 minutes from time, just killing that game off. And then we won our second cup. An amazing achievement, really, for a club of this size. And the board were ecstatic, the fans were ecstatic, really bringing a lot of success to Royal Wangdo and Shillong. Interestingly, that meant that we qualified for the Afc Cup again. And things got even more interesting because actually we got drawn against Kitchi Arema and Haiphong. So Kitchi, I'm pretty sure you all know who they are because that's the club I used to manage in Hong Kong. Good side, I built that side, although they did release a lot of players. Arema in Indonesia, again a good side, a very actually decent side, and Haiphong probably the more the whipping boys of the group. But they're I think a Vietnamese side. Is that correct? Yes, a Vietnamese side. So tough group really, and a lot of memories because we're up against Kitchi, and we hosted them first, and David Tamang and Felix Chidi got really early goals, putting them right on the back foot. Laudi Mavugo, my old signing, did pull one back, and as you can see, the team, it's changed a little bit, but you still got some of the main guys in there. Aaron Cruz, who I bought, Lam Kai Wai, great player, Chairman Phai, Matthew Lam, an absolute dreamboat player, absolute top player, and Laudi, he's a very good player as well. But Kurlon, and I actually looked up after this game thinking, where's Kurlon? Must be injured. No, he's not only gone from Kitchi, he's gone from the game. He's seemingly retired, it appears, and I don't know why. I mean, it's very strange, but 3-1 win there anyway. Then we went away to Indonesia and actually ended up losing this game. Never really were in it until Garung got a one back, but Ari pulled them further ahead just 2 minutes later, and 3-1 to Rema, pretty much fully deserved. And so we were kind of licking our wounds a little bit after this game. It was very important to obviously get a result against the Vietnamese team in Haiphong. So the group at this stage really was wide open, and Haiphong was a very important game. So a 3-0 win was very important. Peter Kalako and Lau Monpoya, getting the goals in what was quite a convincing win. Probably could have been a bigger result for us, but this win put us in 6 points, and then started putting us very closer and closer to actually qualifying, because we knew we probably only needed another 4 or so points to get through. There is a gap in the actual Indian league, so we had to actually cover a lot of this time with some friendlies to keep players fit, and it kind of helped out actually, because we played Sunrise from India 1-4-2, Chaturanga of Bangladesh 1-2-1, beat Gauhati away 4-0, an Indian lower division side, and Mulvipizar Wanderers also of I think Bangladesh by 3-1. And then NF Railway as well. I think they're an Indian side. Yeah, they're from India. By 6-1, which really kept the emphasis up. Clearly, we were hitting a bit of form. And then so when we had to travel to Hong Kong to play Kitchi, it was a great result in the end. Christian Anand put Kitchi in head. David Tamang responded and then with the equaliser, and then quickly put us in the lead. Chan Man Fai, a player I used to use very in all kinds of positions across that front kind of 3-4, made things level. But Felix Chidi, the new signing on board and getting that all important goal to give us the game 3-2. The league started up again, and we hosted Bengaluru, who had to this point had a very good season. And again, new signing, Nandozi getting 2 goals, Singh and Kalako in what was, although a lot of chances weren't, not a lot of chances, not a lot of shots, I guess, but, we made the most of ours, and, in the end, it was not even close. So a very good win for us in that game. Next up, Haiphong, and we knew any kind of probably point against Haiphong probably meant that we were through. But it was difficult going away, and they made it difficult because they took the lead. Although we equalised, they scored just before half time, made the team talk very difficult. But we responded well, and Nilendra Singh got an equaliser, Henry Wright 7 minutes from time, winning us the game. And actually, this was enough to put us through the group, and very proud of the boys for being able to get through that group, probably in their first ever AFC Cup game, actually. So very, very well done on that one. And then Dempo, and what a result, These guys, would obviously go on to win the title, and we absolutely put a shot across their bows with this game. They didn't know what hit them really. Chile with 3 goals, Kalako, Tamang. They had a response with Singh, but it was 5-1 and just an absolutely amazing game. Really phenomenal performance from a lot of the guys. And really good win in the end. 5-1 against who ended up being the league champions. So really it gave us probably showed a bit of our credentials, and perhaps told us a little bit about perhaps what we can deliver next season, hopefully. Salgarka, 2-0 win again. They're always a difficult side to play, so I was quite happy to just get the 2-goal win. Chile and Tamang, and I think you can, from my perspective, has been a performance in that depth, which has just meant that less players playing out of position just really has improved things. But a good win there. Then the final game of the AFC Cup, and we beat Arema 2-0. Tamang and Singh getting the goals. We didn't really need to win, but winning was obviously a bonus, and absolutely made sure that we would finish top and hopefully face weaker opposition to the next round. But a very good win there against Indonesian opposition. Pune FC away, and a very good win here again. Pune, a decent side. Henry Wright and David Tamang getting the goals. Pereira for them, who actually put them in the lead. But great response again, and really dominated the game. So 3-1 there. Mohammedan. So this was the reverse order fixture. The reverse fixture. This was obviously the game that you all watched, and in the previous episode. And good to get some revenge on these guys, because we were so poor in that game, and 4-1 really gave us was a fair result in the end. Henry Rai, Felix Chidi, and Nagan Gurung for us, and Roy getting a goal early on. They did take the lead, and I was thinking the worst actually, but great win in the end. Then United SC, and probably a poor result really in the end. 0-0. We created much the better of the chances, but just couldn't break through really. And in the end, it was quite a disappointing 0-0 result. But still a point. And at this point we had been climbing the league so well. The league title was absolutely out of range. So for me it was kind of, the league was kind of done and dusted. Just wanted to finish, see how high we could finish really. Then the AFC second round, and we played East Bengal, who, interestingly enough, I was actually linked with their manager's job about some point during the season, probably about 3 or 4 months before this game. They had a really poor season actually in the end. I think they ended up finishing, let's have a quick look, they ended up finishing 7th for a team who's meant to win the league, or favourites to win the league, and had won, I think, the league twice in a row before this. Very poor result, and very, very poor performance in the league. But we were very, very cautious going into this game. I was certainly cautious, thinking of they could really pull the strings on us, because they have a good side. But no, in the end, Lal Mwampuya and Rai just, really getting us off to a great start. 3-0 up in, midway through the second half, and East Bengal had nothing to respond. So 3-0 in the first leg, and actually you'll be seeing the second leg of this game in the live game. So hopefully we can get through against East Bengal and hopefully advance into the quarterfinals of the Afc Cup. The next game was actually an important game, not really for us but for SC Goa, because SC Goa, going into this game, basically for whatever reason, a lot of the Indian games had already taken place. So our game against SC Goa either was delayed or I don't know what happened, but we kind of knew going in, SC Goa at least knew going in, what they needed to do to stay up, because going in they were in a relegation place. So any kind of win actually, a 1-0 win or whatever it might have been, would have actually kept them up. But in the end, it finished 1-1, and they did take the lead. Clearly, they had a lot more to play for in this game. Boar getting the goal for them. He used to play for us, I believe. This guy, if I check, yeah, he's used to play for us. So maybe a bit of trying to get one over on his old club. But Henry Rai responded, and the game finished 1-1. And in the end, SC Goa, as you've probably seen from the league table, went down with United SC. So really, again, just to repeat, a great season. Let's show you some of the stats actually from the players. So in the end, Singh in goals, no one in that top half. Mascarenas was pretty much off for a good section of the season. Robbins and Felix Chidi obviously only arrived halfway through, so hardly much chance to impact on that table. Again, assists. In fact, we're not really in any of these areas. DK David Tamang obviously won a lot of player of the matches, and a lot of key passes from David Tamang, and obviously Narendra Singh covering a lot of ground during the season. But yeah, so you can see that we finished third, but it's been a team effort. It hasn't really been standout performances, goalie or striker or a lot of assists, or it's really been a team effort. The team effort could really shone through from what is in overall our players wouldn't perhaps get into a lot of those top sides. So moving on, we'll just have a quick look at the squads. So as you can see, the squads now pretty full. We can cover most positions. Looking at the report and squad depth, I think you can see we've got quite a bit more depth. So Chidi, certainly now the best striker at the club. Lauren Fayler and Kalako on the wings, although Lauren Fayler is probably not top quality. We got Anandozi and Tamang. And Tamang's rating's actually gone down. He used to be 5 stars, or he has the potential at least to be 5 stars. But we signed a scout, and which was for some reason an unbelievable problem getting a scout into the club. Just had a problem being able to offer any wages that seemed to kind of allow them to come to the club. But we eventually got one, and yeah, it did kind of reassess where players were. Narendra Singh, top player. David Tamang again. That's the advantage. You bring in Anandozi, and now you've got Tamang can play in that central midfield pairing potentially. Defence. We've always had a decent defence. Really, it's always kind of James Singh, Nagin Gurun, Bruno Barreto. Now with Lafmwana and Nauba Singh. It's really is a decent side really. We've got now, so I think we can push on next season maybe, and perhaps hopefully challenge for the title, because I'd really like to. I'd really enjoyed actually playing, being the manager of this club. It's been quite an interesting experience coming into India for the first time and managing little Royal Wang though. Anyway, we'll move into the live game. As you can see, the morale's superb, and we're just probably a day away from the game, or maybe it's the day of the game, I believe, or a day away. So we'll just see whether we can get through this round. As you can see from the results, Kitchi did draw away to SLNA of Vietnam, so maybe they can get through. And South China got through to the second round, and they've got are Wadi United of Myanmar. So they should be through. So, you know, potentially, South Hong Kong sides could potentially go a long way in this tournament. It's good to see, actually. Good to see that. Anyway, let's go to the game, and let's see if we can finish this off. So, Nagan Tamang, don't want him playing there. What's happened? So, we've got quite a few players out or unregistered or travelling. Ah, yes. They're travelling to the... I think there's some sort of international games going on, which is not exactly helped us out. But let's put Henry Ryder for now. And let's see if we can grab someone who's going to be able to play more in that central midfield role, because I think Robert Rye has left midfield and the ball, that's just not good, is it? Sukhwinder Singh's already in, and this is a problem. This is a bit of a problem. Yeah, there really isn't anyone. I mean, Gangchi, I would say, just because he's got defensive midfield, but he's kind of, not. Almost I want to say, what can we play Nalba Singh there? I'm going to try and play Nalba Singh there. I'm just actually wondering whether any of these defenders can play kind of ball-winning midfielder, which perhaps might help us out a bit, and they can't. Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. I guess we'll have to go with that. That's not ideal at all. Felix Chidi rested. He's on 80%. So if we needed a response, we can always bring him on. Let's see how we do. I'm actually a little bit worried now. That's kind of thrown a bit of a spoke in the wheels, really, not having some of our players available. Hopefully, it's the same for East Bengal. That's probably one of the advantages of playing a fellow Indian club. But let's go to the match. And actually, I haven't changed as per normal. I don't normally watch the games, but obviously we'll be watching today. And not a lot of highlights. So we're in black, and Bengal in yellow and red, and they've got the ball, and it's Flayful. And Ravanan is going to get a bit of a... He's going to get yellow. Oh yeah, he's got it. He's got a yellow. He's going to have to be careful now. I always wonder sometimes, did they show you to say, well, is he going to be sent off? I said, oh, he's in. And it's 1-0 to Bengal. And that was very poor marking, really. He somehow stole in behind, and just... The ball lands at his foot, and that's only going one place, and we fall behind. And now it's all to do, really. Although we have had the better of the play, so no time to panic, really. Henry Wright, it's Mascarenhas. Oh, he's hit the bar. Header there, and I don't know whether the goalkeeper got a touch to it, but that could have been a very important away goal. But in the end, East Bengal survive, and if they were to get a goal now, that might really put the cat amongst the pigeons. But it's Rye. He's got the ball just straight at the goalkeeper. In the end, a poor effort. Mondal will pick that up with no problem. And can we win this back? Pradhan, he's there, but Elias just gets the better of him. Bordikar, Day, and Mokeko's in again. And this is not looking good, and it's a great save from Singh. Really had to stretch for that one. And somehow denied there, Mokeko. Oh, it's come off the bar. Oh my goodness me. Not dealing with it. And Rye can break now. And that's a pretty aimless ball forward, which the goalkeeper's going to collect. So, edging towards half-time now. But, oh, I thought the highlight was going to continue there. But half-time, so, 1-0. I guess, nothing too much broken. Could have been far worse. I think it could have also been far better. We had the chances. So let's go ahead. No changes yet. I think, it's not gone too badly. And hopefully we can hang on here. So just waiting for the next highlight. So let's have a look at some of these results then. Kitchi drawing. and South China winning 1-0. So back to the action. Mondal to Sigdare, Fernandez, and Bordikar. Bordikar plays the ball forward. Flayful here. Flayful Day, and it's 2-0. And yeah, this is getting very dangerous now. Very dangerous. We really don't want to be conceding any further goal, and that is just so poor. He's just thrown that to the keeper. I mean, sometimes I wonder what they're thinking, but Bengal here could really, if they get another goal, they're gonna, the morale's gonna be in their side here. Oh, Makeko. Oh, good save, Singh. Well done, Singh. Very important save. And it might be time to make a few changes here. I think we might need the offensive threat of Chidi up front. Let's just make sure that this goes out. Right. Let's bring on Chidi. I know he's not looking the best in terms of his physical preparation for this game. But let's just go with that for now. So Mondal to kick out, and Raniga, Okpara, back to Raniga, Bordikar, Day, and well cut there by Gurung. Gurung plays it forward. Oh, cut out well. Day, and he's got it in behind now. Makeko, faithful to the keeper. Very poor finish. We are grateful that was not slid past the keeper, but it's getting a bit difficult now. It's getting difficult. And Lafmwana, Rai on the ball, but that's a poor ball. He's got to do better than that. Elias now on the ball. Okpara for East Bengal. Long ball forward. Day collects. Makeko, but he can't quite get there. And Faithful, and Makeko's in again. He skewed it wide. And what do Bengal have to do to get the third goal here? Well, I'm hoping a lot more, because we are not played well in this game. We're hanging on for dear life. And it's time for Robert Rai. And it's probably also time for... there's just no one really on the bench that I'd want to... Maybe Nagan Tamang could be an option on the right. Let's bring him on the right. And that's our... Effectively, we've turned over the cards, so to speak. And now we must try and hold on here. Mia... Oh my God! That's a fantastic goal. And that's 3-0 to East Bengal. He must have been about 30 yards out. And that is... You can't legislate for that. That is a top quality finish. And suddenly it's all been turned around. But do we have a chance? Rai on the wing, trying to get it back in. Rai, can he get it in? It's got to be Chidi, and he scuffed it into the net. The all-important away goal. And East Bengal thought they were forcing extra time, but actually Warringdow have got the all-important goal, which will probably send them through to the next round. And who would have believed this? Rai back into the box, Singh, and he's given a penalty. Insult to injury. Can he put it? He has. Lafmwana makes it to second, and suddenly Warringdow have absolutely pulled out the bag. What a response to a goal like that. It may not have been the prettiest goals, but they're certainly effective, and it looks like East Bengal are bowing out. They gave it a very good effort. Showed really some of the temperament of champions. Offside there, Rakib, and this match is all but over. And yes, Warringdow are through to the next round. And top quality performance. Well, naturally, what am I talking about? It wasn't a top quality performance. It was a top quality response. But East Bengal, got to give them credit. They really gave us a good game there. And in the end, we go through though. And I'm mightily happy to accept that in the end. So the AFC Cup will continue into the next season. Kitchee got through, and South China got through. In terms of the going forward, if you're thinking about, what's my plan, one thing actually I will just mention is the fixture, is the finances which is what the thing I wanted to mention earlier. Yeah, great improvement. We started on about 18k, so AFC Cup wins has really improved our position. Just so you can have a look there. But yeah, going on to the what's the future of this game, I guess. Well, yeah, still the challenge is very much there, and it's not changed. We are going to try and win every league and every Champions League we can in the game. Obviously, that might be difficult in the lifetime of Andres Salazar. So if we keep going, then maybe at some point I might create a son to continue the legacy, and I'll let you name him, or maybe we'll give him a name from whatever country he's in at the time, and that nationality perhaps. But yeah, just generally in terms of the near future, I think with Royal Wellington, I am enjoying it, and I do want to try and win the title with them. If I get a better offer, I may look to take it. I mean, at the moment, we've got continental reputation and 85%, so that's actually, beginning to become very good. I think we could get some of the top jobs in Asia now, which would probably, obviously help us progress the challenge along in Asia, certainly quicker than perhaps, if we have to get the Royal Wangdo of Indonesia, or the equivalent. So that's obviously a positive for us. We've played 121 games, and I was just looking the other day that in our overview that we have earned 69k in what's now it's been 3 years. So not earning a lot of money, but yeah, hopefully, well, certainly I would say that figure will go up. So yeah, I think next season, obviously, I'll look to improve the team. I'll probably look to join you, obviously, again halfway through the season at some point. It's probably the best place to kind of give you an overview of kind of where we're at, and with enough games played to have some sort of view. Just to go back and again to see the club history. To show you that, in Royal Wellington, the history of the club now, in terms of that, we have now won the Federation Cup and the Oceans Durand Cup. This is what I mean. We did win the Shillong Premier League, which I presume is obviously the local league in of the area, because we won it 3 years in a row actually. Because obviously we're from Shillong, so I presume we were playing in the local area, and yeah, now the updated club background anyway. Just if you want to read that, then by all means pause the video. But yeah, so I'll join you next season. We'll be halfway through when we catch up, and hopefully we can push for that league title. Anyway, this is me signing out.